students. In this class, we'll be doing class 10 CBSE syllabus. Okay, we are doing quadratic equations chapter. In that first exercise I have completed. That first exercise is based on checking whether given equation is a quadratic equation, so that we will solve the quadratic equation and check whether it is in the form ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a not equal to 0. Okay, so this is the thing we did in the first exercise. Now second exercise is we are asked to find the factors of the given quadratic equation. So factors or zeros both are same only. So we are asked to find the factors of the given quadratic equation. So for finding the factors of the quadratic equation, three methods are given. So first method is splitting the middle terms. So that splitting the middle terms already we have learned in the lower classes. That is splitting the middle terms. This is the first method. This is the first method. Second method is quadratic formula. Second method is quadratic formula. A formula is given. In that formula, we will substitute the coefficients of the quadratic equation and find the zeros or the factors of the quadratic polynomial. Then the third one is squaring, completing the squaring method. Third one is completing the squares. Completing the squares. So these are the three methods to find the factors of the given quadratic polynomial. So in this exercise, in exercise 4.2, we will be using splitting the middle terms, that method only, to find the factors of the given quadratic polynomial. So first sum I have written. So the first sum is x squared minus 3x minus 10. So this one, find the roots of the following quadratic equation. Roots is nothing but the factors. Okay, roots of the following quadratic equation by factorization method. So that method, splitting the middle terms, that I told you, that is otherwise called as factorization method. Both are same only, factorization method or splitting the middle terms. Okay, so here x squared minus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0. Here, when you find the product of any two numbers, you have to get minus 10, and the same numbers, when you find the sum, you have to get the answer as minus 3. Okay, when you multiply two numbers, you have to get minus 10. The same numbers, if you solve, you have to get minus 3. Like that, you have to take the number. So, if you take 5 and 2, 5 2s are 10. So, when you subtract 5 and 2 also, you will get 3. But here, negative sign is there. Accordingly, you have to put the sign. If you put negative sign here, the bigger number, 5 2s are 10. Unlike signs, so minus sign you will get. Here also, minus 5 and plus 2 if you take, unlike signs, so you will subtract it and put the bigger number, bigger sign as minus 3. So, the two numbers are minus 5 and plus 2. So, that we will substitute it here. So, x squared plus 2x minus 5x minus 10 is equal to 0. Okay. If I am writing 2 here, again I have to interchange. Why? Because here 10 is there, it will be easy for us. So, anyway it can be written. You can write it as minus 5 and plus 2 or plus 2 minus 5. Anyway it can be written. So, you will take the first two terms. In that, x is common. So, x I will take out. So, balance will be x plus 2. So, the same x plus 2 should be here, such that minus 5 I will take out. So, minus 5 into x is minus 5x. Minus 5 into plus 2 is minus 10. So, this x plus 2 is common. That I am taking it out. Balance will be x minus 5. So, the factors, the roots of the given quadratic equation are, one is x plus 2 is equal to 0 and x minus 5 is equal to 0. So, x is equal to minus 2. This is one root and x is equal to plus 5. So, x minus 5 is equal to 0. So, x is equal to 5. X plus 2 is equal to 0. So, x is equal to minus 2. So, these are the two roots of the given quadratic equation. Then second sum is 2x squared plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. So, here in this, In the previous sum for x squared there is no coefficient. So we have taken only the constant term. But here you are having a coefficient for x squared. So when you want to find the product of the two numbers, those two numbers has to be multiplied. So 2 6 are 12 minus 12. When you take any two numbers, their product should be minus 12. And then when you find the sum of the same two numbers, you have to get the answer as plus 1. So this is plus x. So accordingly, you have to take the numbers. So if you take 4 and 3, 4 3s are 12. Here also 4 and 3, when you subtract it, you will get one number. But here plus is there, here minus is there. So anywhere here you can take minus sign. So since you need for bigger number plus sign, you will take minus sign for the smaller number. So this is plus 4 minus 3. So 4 3s are 12. Unlike signs minus 12 and 4 3s are 12. Unlike signs, so you will subtract it and put the bigger number sign. So the two numbers are plus 4 and minus 3. So here in this I will substitute. So 2x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 6 is equal to 0. Okay, so as usual these two numbers and these two terms we will take. So here 2x I will take common, balance will be x plus 2. Here in this I need, if I want to take x plus 2 common, I will take minus 3 outside. So minus 3 into x is minus 3x, minus 3 plus 2 is minus 6. This is equal to 0. So 2x minus 3, that is one factor, and the other one is x plus 2 is equal to 0. So 2x minus 3 is equal to 0 and x plus 2 is equal to 0. So 2x is equal to 3 and x is equal to 3 by 2. Here x is equal to minus 2. So the two factors are, so the factors are 3 comma 2 and minus 2. So these are the two factors. Okay. Now we will do the third sum. Third sum, here we are having root value. Root 2x squared plus 7x plus 5 root 2 is equal to 0. So as usual, this coefficient of x squared and the constant term, we will multiply it first. So when you find the product of any two numbers, you have to get 5 into root 2 is 2. So 5 2s are 10 you have to get. And the same thing, same numbers, when you add, you have to get the answer as 7. So accordingly, you have to take the numbers. Okay. So you have to get 10 here. So for taking the 10, you should have root value also. You should have this one also. You have to get 7 also. Accordingly, you will take the numbers. Okay. So what numbers you will take? So you will take, if you want 7, you will take 5 and 2. 5 and 2. So 5 plus 2 is 7. Same thing, 5 2s are 10. Okay, same thing, 5 2s are 10. Since both are positive, here also everything will be positive only. Okay, so root 2 x squared, 5 plus 2 7. So here this 7, we are writing it as plus 2x plus 5x. Then this 7x only, I am rewriting it as 2x plus 5x. Then 5 root 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so now you take these first two terms and these first two terms. So in this 2x I am taking it common. Okay, so what will be the sorry, root 2 I have to take common. Why? Because here root 2 is there. So root 2x if I take common, balance I will have x only. So root 2x into x will be root 2x squared plus. We know that root 2 into root 2 is 2. So already one root, I have taken one root 2 I have taken out. So balance will be root 2 here. Understood? So here this 2 you can write it as root 2 into root 2. Okay. So one root 2 I have taken out. Balance one root 2 will be inside it. Okay. Then plus I should have x plus root 2 here. X plus root 2 here. So here it will be 5. So 5 into x is 5x. 5 into root 2 is 5 into root 2 is 5 root 2 is equal to 0. Then we'll take root 2x plus 5 common. The remaining is x plus root 2 is equal to 0. So root 2x plus 5 is equal to 0 and x plus root 2 is equal to 0. So root 2x is equal to minus 5 and x is equal to minus 5 by root 2. Then here x is equal to minus root 2. Usually we won't be having root values in the denominator. So that one we will simplify. When we multiply it by x is equal to minus root 5 by minus 5 into root 2 into, we will rationalize this. Okay, so the answer will be minus 5 root 2 by 2. So this is one fact. Just we are rewriting this minus 5 by root 2 as minus 5 root 2 by 2. So the two factors are, one is minus 5 root 2 by 2 and the other one is minus root 2. We will do the next sum. 2x squared minus x plus 1 by 8 is equal to 0. So first we have to check whether the given equations are in standard form or not. What is standard form? Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0 and a not equal to 0. This is the standard form. But here you are having a fractional number. So this one we will make it as a standard form first. Then we will find the factors. So for finding this, we will take LCM for this. So LCM for these three terms is 8. So when you find the LCM, you will get 16x squared minus 8x plus 1 is equal to 0. So here it will be, when you cross multiply this, this will become 0. So 16x squared minus 8x plus 1 is equal to 0. So when you multiply any two terms, you have to get, here for x squared, coefficient is there 16. So you will get, you multiply it, you will get 16 and the same number when you add, you have to get minus 8. So minus 4 and minus 4 you will take. So minus 4 and minus 4 if you take, 4 4s are 16, minus into minus plus you will get. Here the same minus 4 and minus 4 if you take, if you add it, like signs are there, so if you add it you will get minus 8. So the two numbers are 16x squared minus 4x plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so then here we will take 4x common. So balance will be 4x minus 1. So here if we take 4x minus 1, outside you will get minus 1. So the two factors are 4x minus 1 and 4x minus 1 is equal to 0. And our x term will be, that is 4x minus 1 is equal to 0 and 4x minus 1 is equal to 0. So our x will be 1 by 4 and this one also you will get 1 by 4. So you will get like factors for that, the same factors you will get. One is 1 by 4, the other one is 1 by 4. Okay. Now we will do the fifth sum. So fifth sum is 100x squared minus 20x plus 1 is equal to 0. So when you multiply, you have to get 100 and when you find the sum, you will get minus 20. Accordingly, you have to take. So 10 tens are, 10 plus 10 is 20 and 10 tens are 100. So you take 10 and 10. So here minus sign is there. So we will take both the terms minus. Then here also minus 10, minus 10. So these are the two things we found. Then we will write it in the middle, that is 100x squared minus 10x plus 1 is equal to 0. So here 10x if I take out, balance will be 10x minus 1 here. So 10 tens are 100x squared minus 10x. So here 10x minus 1. So minus 1 will be outside. So here also the same thing like the previous one. Two same factors you are getting. 10x minus 1 and 10x minus 1 is equal to 0. So 10x minus 1 is equal to 0 and 10x minus 1 is equal to 0. So 10x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 1 by 10. Here also 10x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 1 by 10. So these are the two factors we got. So previous one also the same thing. Two same factors we got. So here also the same two factors we got. Okay. So with this we are completing today's class. The remaining sums in this exercise, we'll do it in the next class. If you have any doubt, message me in the comment box. Thank you.